Hi all. In this video we are going to discuss about the reproduction. In previous video we have discussed about metabolism in mRGC square. Now we can just revise a little bit about metabolism. So what is metabolism? It is a biochemical changes that is occurring in living organisms. It is divided into two types. One is anabolic reaction, the next one is catabolic reaction. In anabolic reaction it always leads to construction. Example photosynthesis. In catabolic reaction it always leads to destruction. For example respiration. So now we can move on to the reproduction. Here, what is reproduction? The giving birth of young ones is called as reproduction. What is the importance of reproduction? Sustaining our generation is one of the most important thing of reproduction. So now this reproduction is classified into two types. One is asexual. One is asexual reproduction and next one is sexual reproduction. Here now we can discuss about asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction only one parent is involved, so this regarding this you will be studying even in lower classes. Now that's why it is called as uniparental inheritance. Uniparental inheritance. So uni means one parent is involved, so that's why uniparental inheritance. In sexual reproduction you already know that two parents are involved, a male and a female. A male will produce male sex cells, that is male gametes, which is a sperm, and the female will also produce a female sex cell, a female gamete, which is ova or egg. Now sperm plus ova will just link together, that is it will fuses together and forms the zygote. Now this zygote will undergo many division and it will forms an embryo. Understood? So now here two parents are involved, so sexual reproduction is otherwise called as biparental inheritance. Bi means two, so what is this otherwise called as biparental inheritance. Biparental inheritance. Now we can discuss about the asexual reproduction. So for discussing it, deeply, we needed a special kind of words called bud srf. Bud srf. So now we are going to discuss about what is bud, what is s, r and f. So now here the bud stands for budding. The budding where it is seen, it is observed in hydra. So see this GIF image. So this is an hydra with tentacles. So here from hydra a small constriction, that is a bud, will be formed, and that bud will become mature, and matured bud will fall off into the ground and it will become an adult hydra. So the hydra belongs to phylum Coelenterata. It will be having a presence of tentacles in it. Okay, so now this is the example for budding. So budding in hydra. And what about the SRF? The S stands for spores formation. Spores formation is observed in fungi and algae. So here mostly the spores formed is called as zoospores. But other than the zoospores, there are other kind of spores also like conidia. So there are many types of spores formation, but here the most common one is zoospores. Now in algae also we can observe this formation of zoospores. Now what about the R? The R stands for regeneration. regeneration. So now I'm going to draw a structure. I'm just breaking its parts into different regions. So the head is separated, the body has been separated, and the tail region is also separated. Now what will happen, this from this head a new body will be formed. So from this body, from the cut end, a new head and a tail will be formed, and from the tail a new body and a head will be formed. So this is the regeneration. Now this kind of organism I have told you is called as planaria. So in planaria, this regeneration kind of asexual reproduction is observed in planaria. Now we can move on to fragmentation. So in fragmentation, we can take an example of protonema of mosses. So protonema of mosses. So what is this mosses? You already know that in your lower class you will be studying about these mosses. These mosses, it is categorized under bryophytes. So now these bryophytes are considered as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. So the mosses is one of the example of bryophytes. Here the mosses, in case of emergency or in case of unfavorable condition, it reproduces through the fragmentation, that is the development of protonema. So this is one example of fragmentation. So the protonema of mosses. So now this is the different types of asexual reproduction. So in this video we have discussed about two kinds of reproduction. So one is the sexual reproduction and the asexual reproduction. So again I like to summarize. So in asexual reproduction only one parent is involved, so it is called as uniparental inheritance. But in case of sexual reproduction, so two parents are involved, that's why it is called as biparental inheritance. Here the male will produce a male gamete, that is nothing but male sex cell, which is called as sperm, and the female will produce a ova or egg. The female sex cell will produce ova or egg. Now the sperm, which is the haploid cell, and the ova is also a haploid cell, will just fuse together to form the zygote, which will be the diploid cell. So from the zygote an embryo is formed. So at the same time, in asexual reproduction it is divided into many types. The one is budding. So budding is observed in hydra, and the S, so budding SRF, here in S stands for spores formation, which is observed in fungi and algae, and R stands for regeneration, which is observed in planaria, and F stands for fragmentation, which is observed in mosses, that is protonema of mosses. Okay, so thank you.